come together, heart and soul, as we love together. Young and old, we will sing together, together in one song. Come together from different worlds, we are drawn together in our own way. We can pray together, together we are strong. I see God in you, you see God in me. One path, one vision, one family. Come together, dreams in hand, we'll join together to build a place we can all grow together. Together we are whole. I see God in you, you see God in me. One path, one vision, one family. Oh, come together, heart and soul, love together. Young and old, we will sing together, together in one song, together in one song, together in one song. Come, we thankful people, come. Raise the song of harvest home. All is safely gathered in ere the winter storms begin. God, our Maker, doth provide for our wants to be supplied. Come to God's own temple, come, raise the song of harvest home. just want to thank you, Lord.
Thank you, and welcome to Unity. I am Patty Yoon. I will be your platform leader today. We have Huron Bro as music and filling our spirits with love and thanksgiving. We have Jessica, bless her foot, on this morning for video, Brian on sound, and Samantha Jones, our spiritual leader, will be sharing today's message. Let's give them all a hand. Our greatest desire is that you're inspired by the music, the message, and the meditation. We are blessed that you are here today. Every month, we celebrate one of the 12 powers that our co-founder, Charles Fillmore, identified and discerned to be within each one of us. The power of this month is the power of elimination. And that color is brown, number one. And the color, it represents that elimination and the power of releasing, letting go, removing, denying, denouncing. So with that power of elimination, let's say our mission statement together. Inspiring spiritual transformation as a vibrant, diverse, and inclusive community. And with that same power of elimination, let's say our statement of being together. There is only one presence and one power in my life and in the universe, God the good, omnipotent. Now is the time to silence your cell phones as we welcome our first-time guests. If you're here in the sanctuary for the very first time, reach now. There's a packet in the seat in front of you. There's an envelope, and just fill out the form on the front, and then put that in the offering plate when it comes around. Your presence is your gift to us. If you're at home, just put in the chat box that you're here, new to Unity, and go to our website where you'll find out about ongoing and upcoming events, and we would love to see you in person soon. Unity is a worldwide ministry dedicated to the ongoing awareness of the Spirit within all. Wherever you may be on your spiritual journey, we invite you to keep what works for you and gently release the rest. We will now bless everyone who is connected here today. We love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. And we behold the Christ as you, just as you are. Amen.
Good morning. I would like to invite Miss Pauletta Rains to join me. She has a special invitation for you. The bulletin board out in the hallway, you may have noticed that it's been on fire. There was a campfire out there. Did you see that last month? And the month before that, there was something else really special. Each month, she and her daughter Rebecca have been coming in and creating these beautiful bulletin boards for us. And she had a great idea for this month, too.
I just can't wait. Did any of you see the one that was out there? And all it's got is little sticky notes that says the things that you're grateful for. Well, I'd like to expand on that just a little bit. You know, it's the things that we're all grateful for: our home, our families, including the four-legged members. At least that's me. And I would invite you to bring in pictures of the things that you're grateful for. And most of my pictures are on my computer, and so I just download them, and I print them out just on a piece of paper. And I'm inviting you to bring these in, but please make them small-sized, because there's so many of us, and we all have lots of great pictures of our family and friends. Even things that maybe we don't think all the time that we're grateful for, like our jobs that can be a little frustrating, a little boring at times, but it still pays the bills, doesn't it? What about that great vacation you took that you so needed to get out of town? And you have some great pictures to remember that. How about a friend that you haven't seen since college or since your days in the service who reached out to you on Facebook and you got to see them? Print off those pictures. Put the person's name and your name and phone number on the back. I've got several of my pictures here, and they're little. Some of them are really little because I come from a family of 9 kids, and the potential there is just beyond belief. But think about the things that you're grateful for throughout the year, and I invite you to bring your pictures in. Leave them here in an envelope or something with your name and your phone number, and we'll get them on the board. And then that's something that we can all really check out when we're drinking coffee and visiting with each other before and after the services. And we'll leave that up throughout the rest of this year because we want to get to know the people and the places and the things you're grateful for. We've got Thanksgiving coming up. How many of you have finished all your grocery shopping? Very good. You're ahead of me. You're ahead of me. I still have to go get pie crusts. I don't make them from scratch. I know my limits. But at any rate, I would invite you to do that and be sure and remember to put like your name and your phone number so that we can get those back to you. But if you want to print them just on plain paper, that's okay. That's okay. And we'll attach them to that bulletin board in those loosely grouped categories where we can, okay? So, that's it.
Thank you, Pauletta. So in honor of that consciousness of gratitude that moves so effortlessly into the power of life that we'll be celebrating next month, I invite you to take those little pieces of paper that you were given before you came in, and those are there for you to write down some things that come to you through this service. Some things that you're grateful for, and there's push pins out there. So you can start populating that and get that consciousness bubbling within your heart and your mind. So as we move into our time of prayer this morning, we have a few prayer requests. We want to hold our friends, Jeffrey and Kyle, in our prayerful consciousness of comfort and peace as Kyle is experiencing the loss of his brother. And so they were just down in Oklahoma celebrating his life, and I'm so glad that Jeffrey was able to come and visit us. We miss you. We love you. We also want to hold in our consciousness of prayer Vicki Howard, whose father made his transition recently. And we want to lift up Jessica, our very own Jessica. You heard Patty say, bless her foot. Well, since she's hiding back there, you can't see her with a giant cast because she had to have surgery with bolts and rods. And so we're holding the consciousness of prayer, wholeness, and complete health for her as well. So I invite you to take a deep breath and move into the awareness of the presence of God that is in you, that is all around you. That presence of God that comforts and soothes in times of challenge. That presence of God that ignites the fire of imagination and zeal, that allows you to create and develop ideas that touch the lives of those around you, that enhance your life. That presence of God that can never be gone. You are never separate. You are never without. For in God there is only abundance. And we, in our consciousness of movement, grace, and life. We are able to limit that to our abilities that we may demonstrate just as Jesus did, as the Christ did. Demonstrate the effects of this oneness with God. And so we hold in our hearts the prayers that we have spoken and not spoken, affirming the truth, the oneness, divine love, and the absolute constant presence of God, healing, comforting, lifting up, and awakening within our hearts and our minds every moment. The consciousness of oneness. We are so very grateful, and in the name and the nature of the very Christ that we are, we say together, and so it is. Amen.
For the beauty of the earth, for the glory of the skies, for the love which from our birth over and around us lies. God of all, to thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise. For the beauty of each hour, for the day and of the night, hill and vale and tree and flower, song and moon and stars of light. Lord of all, to thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise. For the joy of human love, brother, sister, parent, child, love we praise all things above, gentle, peaceful, calm, and mild. Lord, all to thee we praise our hymn of great we raise. God gives us love and joy and peace, gives us love, gives us love, gives us love and joy and peace.
Good morning. I am Judith Huffman, and I will be leading us in our affirmations and in our meditation together this morning. And as we say our affirmations, I would like for us to say each one twice before we're going on to the next one. So if you will affirm with me, I am connected to the truth of my divine nature. Again, I am connected to the truth of my divine nature. I know who I am. I know who I am. I am whole. I am whole. Oh, I'm sorry. I wrote something different. Sorry about that. You know, you could put any word in there you want. I am divine. I am whole. I am perfect in every way. And so we are. Hey. Good to see all of you there. Surprise, surprise. So if you will with me, I'm sorry for getting a little funny up here. So it's time that we move gently into our time of meditation. So very gently, quietly, as we enter into this sacred space within, that sacred space that Jesus called that inner space, the heart, the closet, and close the door to all that is outside that disturbs and interferes. I call it my heart space. Take a few deep breaths. Gently and slowly release them. And with each exhale, release any tension that may be in your body. And let it go. And as you enter into this deeper awareness of the divine presence within, you may want to soften your gaze or close your eyes and take just one more deep breath, relaxing as you let it go. And we enter this time of deep reflection as we affirm within the silence of our own minds our affirmations. I am connected to the truth of my divine nature. I know who I am. I am divine. How easy it is sometimes to be drawn away from this truth of who we are. A pain here or there, an ache or two, an angry response to a question, or someone rushing past us, or some impatient person who annoys us. And immediately we are trapped in a different space, a different awareness, and we've forgotten for just a moment of who we are. And as we prepare for this time of meditation, I think of Saul, who later became known as Paul. He was so sure that he was right in his persecution of Jesus' followers. And yet on the road to Damascus, he was blinded, closed off from the outside world, and given time in the stillness to reflect on what he was doing. And hopefully we don't need that kind of experience, sometimes called the cosmic two-by-four. We don't need those experiences to awaken us to the divine truth of who we are. We all need time for inner reflection, a time of going within. And only in this way can we connect to the truth of our divine nature, our true identity. Yes, we are truly spiritual. We are whole, wise, and intelligent and strong. And yes, in challenging moments, we may forget. We may forget that we are fully divine and also fully human. And our human self needs time apart to enter into the inner sanctuary, to reconnect with our divine nature. We are one with the divine. And only we can separate ourselves from God, and only in consciousness, because we are never separated from God. We are loved regardless of what we think or say or do. So moment by moment, we can take time to notice our thoughts and stop. What am I thinking? What am I feeling? What is my self-talk? What am I saying to myself? Am I affirming my divine nature? Am I lifting my thoughts up? Am I declaring my good? At any given moment, I can connect to this divine nature by affirming my good and simply stopping and listening to what's going on inside and become aware. Is this what I want to be affirming? Is this the truth of who I am? So let's take a moment now just to stop. And in a moment of silence, check in. What are you thinking? What am I feeling? Do I need to make an adjustment, a correction? In the silence, check in. So did you discover in the silence that you need to make a correction? I catch myself often with some negative thought and then wish immediately that I could stop, and I did, and corrected it. Soon Sam will be saying to us, and probably will say it again many times, take action, make some adjustments in your thoughts and feelings. Maybe a little forgiveness, a little gratitude. Connect with your own divine inner nature and allow the truth of who you are to shine forth. Give yourself and others the gift of who you truly are. Remember, I am connected to the truth of my divine nature. I know who I am. I am divine. And so it is, as you gently allow yourself to return to this space.
I have, and you have, we all have these hands to reach out to woman, girl, boy, and man, to show them love. And a perfect plan. We have these ears. We can hear a voice so clear. We can hear the cries of shortfalls so we can wipe away some tears. Well, we have a voice to speak a word, to sing all of the good things to those who've never heard. And with eyes we see a need for more availability. Hearts that have been broken, people to be free. I'm available to you. My will I lend to you. I'll do what needs to be done to show someone the way. And may I be able to say, my storage is empty, and I am available to you. Love isn't love until you've given it away. Oh, to you. Available to you. Storage is empty, and I am available to you. Love isn't love until you've given it away. So with my eyes I see the need, with my hands I touch and agree, and with my mouth I speak words of life. Oh, my storage is empty, and I am available to you.
I am available to you. Doesn't that feel good? I invite you to just, look at somebody in this room. Or if you're at home watching online with someone, or just envision the person that you're available to. And just reassure them of that. I'm available to you. I'm available to you. We are not islands. I don't know. There was some song about that, I think. We're not islands, we're communities, aren't we? We are drawn to one another in a tribal awareness that's just inherent, isn't it? So when we hear those words, I'm available to you, we know that those are coming from this divine presence that we call God, but also we are saying that to one another from our own innate divine nature, aren't we? We are available to one another. Thank you, Huron. Wow. So we've been talking about some stuff this month, haven't we? Forgiveness, that's some deep stuff that we have to dig deep to get into. And so the theme for the month of November is to act and to give. And when we think about acting and giving, I don't know, when this theme came forward, I thought, boy, that feels kind of clunky. Until I sat with it for a while and I thought, oh, I see. Acting and giving, they're so closely related because you can't have one without the other, right? In order to give, you have to take some sort of action within yourself. And so earlier, Pauletta gave us this beautiful idea, and she said, hey, you've got to take some action. Start thinking about those things that you're grateful for in your life. And then what did I do? We asked you to take some more action, write them down on those papers that we gave you, right? I'm just saying act and give a lot. Some people got my joke, sorry. It was another bummer. We missed you last week, Huron. I told a joke. People didn't think it was as funny as I thought it was. So to act and to give, they're both nouns and they're both verbs. We have these two different parts of speech. To act, the verbiage, that in a verb, it's to take initiative, to move, to function, to behave. These are ways that we act and that we are moving, that we're verbing, right? Do you remember Mad Libs? You had to come up with verbs. So to act would be a verb. And now as we use it as a noun, possums act dead. They play dead, right? They gesture. There's a pretense. There's a facade, right? These are all nouns. So we're talking about all the different ways that we can use this idea of act. Then we have give. Give is a verb and a noun as well, right? So when we use it as a verb, we're allowing something. We are offering. We're putting on display. We're showing, right? And then as a noun, there's a little give here. So there's some flexibility, elasticity, a little bit of slack and play, right? So, oh, I love it. I'm so happy you guys are here with the baby. And so as we draw nearer to Thanksgiving and we think about this idea of being grateful for the people, the places, the gifts in our lives, I invite you to discuss both of these in our sense and our spiritual consciousness, right? So we have these two ways that we live in this world. We live in this physical present space where we act. A lot of us have facades and ideas that we want people to believe about us. Like maybe I wanted you to believe that my hair was beautiful like this all day. But the truth is I sat here and I kept putting it up because it's hot. And then I put it back down and I hope. How is it? Is it good? Okay. Okay, good. Good deal. Just checking in. But the spiritual side, the spiritual consciousness within this space is that as I'm sitting there preparing, I am readying myself to be this presence that communicates the center, the Christ that I am, in a clear, concise manner in order to speak to the Christ, the presence that you are. because I'm available to you. So first, we're called to action by Jesus, our way shower. And in Galatians, he says that all the law shall be summed up in a single commandment: to love your neighbor as yourself. So to love is to take that action, right? Love can be that action. And to love is to give. To give of this transformative power that's generated from the very center of your being, right? So we're combining this whole idea of the Hebrew scriptures, the law from these Hebrew scriptures that are all coming together. And Jesus had this really revolutionary idea that said really what it's all about is love. There we are. And so we want to take this just a little bit deeper as we talk about the actions and the giving, right? So I want to share with you the parable of the talents. Now, this is Matthew 25, 14 through 30. I'm not going to read all of that. I'm going to just simply paraphrase it. Who's familiar with the parable of the talents? A few people. So a lot of people don't associate this with taking action and giving. But I'm not a lot of people, am I? You guys have learned that I do some funny workarounds, don't I? So there's this master, and he's leaving for a long journey, and he calls 3 servants to him. The first servant, he gives to that servant 5 talents. Now, talents, I mean, we could consider them the things that we do, but in this story, it's specifically talking about money. But I would encourage us to explore that word a little more loosely in the talents that we are given, right? Our abilities, our gifts, the things that we have in our life that allow us to give, that allow us to take action. So the master gives to the first servant 5 talents. He gives to the second servant 2 talents, and to the third 1 talent. Now the first servant, he takes those 5 talents and he doubles them. So when the master comes back, he is happy. This servant has taken what he has given him, and he's multiplied them and brought them forth and said, here you go. Here's double your money. Here's double your ability. Here's double your consciousness, your conscious awareness, right? And the master is pleased and says thank you and sends him on his way. The second servant comes forward, and he who had the 2 talents doubled his as well. So, of course, the master is thrilled, happy, overjoyed. This servant, too, has taken action to double his money, to double his ability. And the third servant, who was really fearful, he was afraid of what would happen if he didn't get more, if he didn't produce what the master was expecting, because the master liked to reap where he didn't sow. And they kind of liken that to putting it into a bank and getting interest. So he buries it underground. And when the master brings him back, he says, what do you have? And he says, Master, I brought you back. What is yours? The 1 talent. The master was not pleased. And as I explored that through this idea of taking action and giving forth from what we have been given, from what we have received in this world, all the things that we are grateful for. And I wondered, how many of those things have I hidden under the ground? How many of those things have I been afraid to double, to multiply, to put out into the world and see what it manifests? Can you think of things in your life that you've been afraid to put out and allow it to manifest? So when I think about stepping back, taking the time to really reconsider the actions that I'm taking with the talents that I have, I'm reminded of Paul saying in Romans that we should be transformed by the renewing of our minds. The renewing of our minds transforms us. Just as Judith talked about in her meditation, that we have the opportunity, the ability to step back and reevaluate what it is that we are putting out into the world. Are we putting it out, or are we hiding it? Are we burying it for fear that it could be lost? So, as we explore the piece of giving in our spiritual sense, in our spiritual consciousness, Charles Fillmore, the co-founder of the Unity Movement, said that when we are giving, we should be cheerful givers. We should be joyous in our giving. We allow ourselves to take all of this action. Perhaps you've gone to school. Perhaps you've graduated with a degree. Perhaps you took a dance lesson. You've invested something of yourself in all that you are, right? And so this spiritual consciousness presses you into action. It says, okay, we're going to learn to foxtrot, right? I'm going to go and I'm going to take this dance class because I'm being compelled to take action. That compelling nature, that is that voice, that presence of God pushing you forward. Now, we don't know what's going to happen. I remember the first time I ever spoke in front of a group of people, it was 400 people, and I was really afraid. And I told a joke. It was better than last week's. But what I also did was I stood there in my body, and I remember thinking, this is mine to do. And I spoke to those 400 people, or 300, I don't remember. And when I got done, everybody was so grateful for the insights that I shared. And I said, that is mine to do. Even though I was so afraid. So I invite you to explore within yourself. What is it that you are being compelled to give? And first, and these are from Charles, dedicate yourself in the spirit of Jesus' teachings. So go within, focus and center on that divine love. Focus on justice and equity between all and in all needs, right? So focus on those things that are going to support you and those for whom you are connecting with, that you're available to, right? And then don't lay upon the future, he says. So this is Charles Fillmore, and he uses that word lay. So he's talking about don't hoard things, don't bury them into the dirt, but let the future be for itself, present right now. Be present where you are. And practice giving even in the smallest way. Here we know that Jesus started talking about this, the woman who gave the smallest amount was the largest offering because she had so little. And so what is it? What part of you? Is it? It may be in your finances. It may be in your action. It may be in your thoughts to yourself or about others. What is it within you that you've been burying, pushing, keeping private, hidden away? What is it that you could take action to build and share? Be a steward of God and giving from this inexhaustible supply. There's always enough, right? There's always going to be a supply because there is no lack or limitation in God, right? Right? Okay, just making sure you guys were with me because my watch keeps going off. It's telling me wrap it up. And so when we are cheerful in our giving, whether we are cheerful in our giving of our talents, our treasures, our time, we relish in the opportunity to bring forward to our higher consciousness that master, right? We bring forward these gifts that we have taken and we have duplicated them and we have allowed them to multiply and demonstrate that very presence of God and the Christ that we each are, and we make ourselves available to one another and ourselves in a whole new way. Isn't that exciting? Is it? Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. So exciting. And so the love of God, may the love of God multiply you. That's the affirmation that we share. And we share this in a similar way. It's the same idea when we have our offering prayer. But I invite you to stand. In case you guys haven't figured out, we're going to start doing this. And I just invite you to come up within your mind something that it is that you're grateful for. Maybe it's your finances. Maybe it's your ability to dance and sing. Maybe it's your ability to read really fast and read all those books on your shelf, because that's something I can't do. I always keep buying more. So we're going to take that idea and we're going to just hold it in our hearts and in our minds. Even just place it over your heart. Imagine holding it. And you say, God multiplies you. God multiplies you. The love of God multiplies me. The love of God is my essence. The love of God. See, we're okay, Judith. We both kind of said different words. We'll try it again. The love of God is my essence. Whew. Do you guys feel that? One more time, but this time I want you to take a really big, deep breath, as deep as you can go. And we're going to say it with power and force. The love of God is my essence. And so it is. Thank you, my friends. You may be seated. I always forget that part.
Oh, we are certainly blessed here at Unity by the music, the message, the meditation, and by love. Please consider giving a tithe or an offering this morning. If you're here in the sanctuary, will the ushers please come forward? If you're at home, go now to there's a link in your chat box that leads you to your PayPal account. to our physical address, our donations page. Or you can bring it directly to the church during regular business hours, Monday through Thursday, 9:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Please come forward, ushers. And if you are feeling blessed by this morning, just take that feeling of blessing and thanksgiving and hold it over your heart. Think of your secure financial tithe, and let's say together our offering blessing. Divine love flowing from me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, all that I receive, and I am grateful. Amen.
You can't beat God giving, no matter how you try. Just as sure as you are living and God is nigh. The more you give, the more He gives to you. Just keep on giving, because it's really true. You can be God giving, no matter how you try.
Whew, it's good having Huron back. So I invite you to join me in blessing this offering that we receive. Bringing forward in your mind this multiplication of our mission, that everything that we give and everything that we receive and all the actions that we take are centered on that North Star of inspiring spiritual transformation within our own hearts and minds and within the community that we serve and that we live in. For we know that the presence of God and the love of God is moving, breathing, and inspiring our community. It is our essence, and so it is. Amen. And so this morning I get to invite Mr. Wayne Donner up once more. And as he makes his way up here, I'd like to encourage all of you to pick up the Advent booklet that's out here on the table. And we have a few extras. So if you have someone in your life that could benefit or that would find comfort in this, I invite you to share it with them, and of course invite them to our special holiday services. The Blue Christmas is a wonderful opportunity to be in the present moment of healing and wholeness as some of us grieve and experience loss, and of course our Christmas Eve service. So with that, I invite Mr. Donner. Good morning.
Good morning. And I will dovetail on what Sam said. Advent season officially, the readings in the book begin next Sunday. So certainly, if you'll be here next Sunday, you'll have another opportunity to pick up the booklet. If not, then certainly pick one up this morning so you can get started on time, as it were. Excuse me, I would be remiss without starting by thanking the folks who were here yesterday morning to put up these lovely Christmas decorations.
All of them. There were 16. Woohoo! Thank you.
There were how many?
16, including you.
Yeah, but I wasn't here yesterday.
You were here on Friday.
I know. Okay. A reminder that Operation Holiday Collections continue. Marty Williams' annual Christmas tree raffle continues. The Christmas tree is lighted, and on the cabinet in the gallery. It's $2 a ticket or 3 tickets for 5. Thanksgiving dinner, yes. Thanksgiving Day from 1 to 4. There are still sign-up sheets on the table as you come in. Enter through the east door. Sign up. Please sign up for the number of people that will be in your party, and plan on bringing a side dish to help the cause. And the church will order the turkey and ham this week, or that was last week's announcement because you ordered last week?
I ordered yesterday.
Okay.
But we've got plenty.
I don't want you to think that I'm suffering from short-term memory loss. Let's see. And this was in the e-blast on the evening of December 1st, which is a Thursday at 6:30 p.m. We will have a meeting here, and the entire congregation is invited. It's a sort of a focus group to discuss where we're headed from this point in time, and to discuss the current state of the church's finances as a way of getting people in tune with how we are doing financially, so that it doesn't come all at one time in the annual meeting. And also, Sam mentioned that Jessica did have a slight issue last week, so we are looking for folks to help in the office. So if anyone who is interested in helping in the office, if you would in fact call the office this week, we would certainly appreciate that. Also, another item that was in the e-blast, there will be 2 parents' nights out in December during the school break, when that would be long-term memory. When having the kids at home all day long sometimes becomes an issue, or you look for an opportunity to get out. So on December 17th from 1 to 4, and from December 29th from 5 to 8:30 p.m., there will be parents' nights out, geared for ages 5 through 14.
That's correct.
Am I doing the booklet today?
No, we better keep moving. Thank you.
Okay, well, I'll keep this one for next week.
Excellent. Thank you, Wayne Donner. So, you even get an applause. So I'd like to invite you all to stand up and connect with one another, however that is comfortable for you, either holding hands or simply sending forth the love, the essence, that love of God as we share. Oh, and please remember your little slips. There's pins on the bulletin board out there if you've written down some of your gratitude items. And so we share in our prayer of protection together. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as our Creator, loved ones all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the my joy is found.